The other day, I was doing a quick drone and audio sync test to see if I could do walk and talk shots with my drone for upcoming project I've got. And the good news is, yes, I can. And of course, the drone doesn't record audio. So that kind of takes out the whole talk part of it, right? So I had a DJI mic hidden under my vest, and I was testing to see whether or not I could sync that up and whether it would work. And it occurred to me that I hadn't yet demonstrated exactly how to do manual sync using a clap. So let me show you the end result here. This is Lopohoihoi Point. Windy out here because it's a point stuck out in the middle of the ocean. You can zoom in on that. You can see the lip sync and the wind there. Cliffs along the ledges. I'm curious how this looks and how this sounds. I'm guessing that it doesn't look or sound that good. Of course it doesn't look or sound that good. I had the f-stop up to f11 to account for all the light, which on that drone makes it pretty soft. It's nice that it can do that, but it's not ideal. I was just testing the sync and the automation, which actually worked better than I thought. But now let's look at the audio. That actually kind of worked pretty well, and let me show you how I did that. So first we'll drag down the video clip from the drone. We'll make that the right size again, and here is the magic right there. So using my arrow key, I can put it right exactly where the clap happened, and I'm going to cut the beginning off of that track by splitting it with my hotkey, which is backslash. You can also do it with the blade tool here. Come down and cut it. All right, let's get the audio. Now this audio is super long because I put the drone up in the air. I started recording and then I realized I needed to do some settings changes. So I happen to know this last part is what I actually need. And you can see really clearly here, I'll turn the volume up since this is a 32-bit recording. And you have to do that with a 32-bit recording. So you see right here that there's a very clear spike where that clap happens. So I'm going to go ahead and get right up on that. Again, using my arrow keys to move back and forth to get it right where I need it. Split it, get rid of the extra, and line it up. Now, if you have the horseshoe highlighted here, that's snapping. So depending on where you have your playhead, it'll snap to that, make it real easy to put it precise, to place it precisely, or it'll snap to the edge of another clip. Now, if we look at this, there's a little space here, and because I'm zoomed way in, let's turn off snapping because I don't think I can move it off of that. There we go. So now I can get a very precise, and turn snapping back on. There we go. Now it should work. So again, we have to zoom in here to see if it actually works, and zoom out on the clip. So here we have yeah, there you go. This is Lopohoihoi Point. Windy out here because it's a point stuck out in the middle of the ocean. So that works. Now, what I did there again is I clapped where I could very clearly see it on the camera, and because it was right here next to the mic, in that case, the mic is on the camera in this case, the mic is actually over here. I could see the clap and then I could hear it very clearly. No matter what else is going on, if it's that close to the mic, it's going to pick up. So then you just visually line up where their hands come together in the footage and where that spike happens in the audio track. It's pretty simple. In fact, I do it here in the studio as well. When I get started, I clap just for sync, kind of out of habit, but also because I've run into problems with automatically syncing by waveform. For example, this camera records at 29.97, the desktop capture is at 30, and the difference between those two can sometimes mess up the automatic syncing. So I always have a backup just in case. And I kind of regret it at times when I don't, because manually lining things up without that very clear spike and clap can be difficult. Anyway, thanks for coming along. I hope that was helpful. See you around.